each other. You can't get the adrenaline pumping without the terror, good people. I love this town.
How's it going? So, Jason Takes Manhattan. Friday the 13th, Part 8, released in 1989. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. And I'm going to go ahead and get into my likes of this movie and my dislikes, because I got a few things going on today that I want to get into. Right away, as always, my likes initially is the fact that Kane Hodder once again played Jason in this. I did like his portrayal of Jason better in Part 7, but he did a damn good job in this one. He's more stealthy and methodical and slow in this. He's not so brute and massively forceful as he was in Part 7, but he's still pretty badass in this one. I thought he did a great job as Jason in this. The characters are likable. It's got some pretty funny characters. Well, the ones that are funny is like Julius the boxer. He was alright, he was pretty cool. He was kind of a badass, and he suffers a pretty brutal death. Jason knocks his head the fuck off. You got this little dipshit named Wayne who's in love with the mean bitch in this, Tamara. And Wayne's just the ultimate nerd, but you kind of feel sorry for him because he gets rejected by Tamara throughout the movie and he tries to hit on her. We've all been there, so I do feel for the guy, but he's kind of a dipshit just the same. And Jason kills the hell out of him later on. Very satisfying kill, but I do feel sorry for Wayne. Wayne was a dumbass. He couldn't help it, His friend JJ, who plays the guitar in this, she's pretty cool too. I did like her. Jason slaughters her with a fucking guitar. He hits her in the head with her own guitar, splits her fucking scalp wide open. And like I said, there's some good kills. The dude gets burned to death with a rock from a sauna. Jason takes it, puts it in his chest, and just burns him to death. So there's a lot of good gory kills in this. A lot of stuff that people look over when they're too busy shitting on this and saying all their gripes and bitches about it. They forget all the cool shit that's in it. Rennie, played by Jensen Daggett, she was awesome. I liked her as Rennie. I thought she did a good job playing a sympathetic, kind of PTSD, a very vulnerable young girl. She was almost a drowning victim in her childhood because of her dickhead Uncle Charles, played by Peter Martin Richmond. I hated this fucking guy. I couldn't stand him. I'm pretty sure everyone else is going to agree with me about this, that Charles is the ultimate fuckface in this franchise. Besides Dr. Cruz, Charles was just an asswipe. I couldn't stand him. I mean, he was bitching and griping the whole damn movie, and I'm just sitting there like, dude, shut the fuck up or I'll drown you myself. I just hated that fucking guy. Like I said, he almost drowned Rennie as a child. He threw her in the lake to teach her how to swim, and she didn't know how. So I'm like, what kind of dumbass way is that to teach a kid how to swim? It's just fucking stupid, But besides that, the opening of the movie has a great kill with a young couple trying to bang on Crystal Lake, and Jason kills the shit out of both of them, and the girl had pretty nice tits for a Friday movie, so she's got my points right there. And it does suck they didn't take place in Crystal Lake in this one, but they wanted to do something different. They wanted to take Jason out of Crystal Lake in a new setting, so that right there is okay. I can see that, but the title is a little misleading because they call it Jason Takes Manhattan, but it actually is more like Jason Takes the Love Boat, because it's full of horny teens on there doing cocaine and partying, pushing people into the water and just being overall bitches and drug addicts, and it was the 80s all in one movie. So the only gripe I can say is that the movie does take a little too much time on the boat. Almost 50% of the movie takes place on it, and only like 25% of it takes place in New York, which due to budget restrictions, they were only able to film about 5-10 minutes in New York, and that's in Times Square. They were actually going to shoot multiple scenes in New York before they weren't allowed to, because they were going to shoot a scene on the Brooklyn Bridge and in Madison Square Garden with Julius and Jason fighting and duking it out. And that would have been awesome to see them in a boxing ring, because Jason knocks that motherfucker's head off at one point. There was some cool shit like that. So it would have been cool to see what they could have done if they would have had more money and a bigger budget with this movie. But what they gave us still was pretty satisfying. I liked it. Sean as a male lead in this was kind of weak. I didn't really like him that much. I mean, he's okay as the love interest of Rennie, but compared to Nick, I just thought he sucked. He just wasn't that good. Nick would have beat his ass any day, I think, anyways. But yeah, towards the third act of the movie, it does pick up, when the action gets better. Rennie and Sean are finally in New York. They show up with their uncle, with Rennie's uncle Charles. The dog, Toby, which I don't understand how the fuck that dog got off the boat with everyone when they were getting away in the lifeboats. I didn't see nobody carrying that fucking dog all the way down there, It doesn't make sense. And that fucking boat started off with a lot of people from the high school class, but towards the end of the movie, like 4 or 5 people are left. What the fuck happened to everybody else that was in the restaurant? Did they burn down with the rest of the boat, or did Jason kill them off camera? Because I don't know what the fuck happened to them. There was a lot of people on that goddamn boat, but towards the end, when they get off of it, there's only like 4 or 5. You ask me. You tell me what the fuck happened. When they finally get to New York, if you can believe that a rowboat made it from Crystal Lake to the ocean, to New York is a stretch, but that's a movie. It's a horror movie, okay? Get the fuck over it. It's not that big of a deal. When they finally get to New York, that's when they run into them little shit-ass junkies, and they try to rape Rennie. I can't fucking talk today for some damn reason. God, my damn throat is still fucked up. Yeah, so Jason actually prevents a girl from getting raped in this. That's the thing that people forget, is that when that one dude was trying to rape Rennie after he drugged her up with heroin or something, Jason stabs him in the chest with that needle, throws his ass down like the piece of shit he was. So before you go to say, fuck this movie next time, think about it. Jason stopped a girl from getting raped, okay? That's a very important thing to point out. And like I said, the third act is pretty fun because Jason chases Rennie and Sean down into the sewers of New York after he's done chasing through the fucking subways. And that was actually Vancouver, Canada, that they shot all that in. They dressed it and staged it as New York, but they shot the rest of the movie in Canada, just like at the dock scene at the beginning of it. A lot of this movie takes place in Vancouver. But that's alright with me because I believed it. I bought it. I thought it was New York. I mean, shit, it really did legit look like it. Other than the Times Square shots, everything else is Canada, but it looks just like New York. So I think it's pretty damn awesome what they achieved, with what they had. And the fight scene they have in the sewers, and she douses Jason with toxic waste and makes him drunk as shit like this, stumbling through the fucking sewers. That was pretty cool. That was entertaining as hell. I like that. The confrontation between Rennie and Jason was pretty damn pleasurable. I thought it was pretty awesome. The only thing I will say that was stupid as fuck that didn't make sense is how Jason reverted back to a young boy at the end of it. I didn't like that. I thought it was dumb as hell. I didn't understand why they did that. Because the director said that he wanted Jason to revert back to childhood because that would mean he's officially dead if that happened. But to me, it's like, why? How? What the fuck kind of sense does that make? And it doesn't make no sense when you get to Jason Goes to Hell. How he went from being a little boy in New York sewer down back to a giant ass fucking Goliath and hulking figure with a hockey mask on. I don't know. There's a lot of shit wrong with this movie, but there's a lot of things that were good about it. The soundtrack was great. I love the song Darkest Side of the Night. Thought that was cool as fuck. And they also have a Crazy Ralph throwback in this. There's a dude on the boat at one point that's a lot like Crazy Ralph. He's going around telling people, you're gonna die. Jason's here, So there was a few cool shots and moments in this movie that people overlook when they're too busy looking at the negatives. And they need to try to remember that. So, anyways, yeah, that's Jason Takes Manhattan. And it's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. And I hope you all have a great week and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.